Hello, one and all. It's my view of My Hero Academia, chapter 324, A Young One's Declaration. And oh my freaking god, this chapter made me love Uraraka so much. I mean, seriously, I've loved her since her very first appearance in this series back, during the entrance exam when she stopped Deku from falling flat in his face, which was just, oh, that was so freaking adorable. I loved it. Though I was a little bit disconcerted when Deku had to save her from the giant robot and she was just, so utterly helpless. It really made her seem like, a damsel in distress. And that was disconcerting. Simply because I was worried, they make her a Sakura character. A character who is, don't be wrong, strong in her own right, but just can't really stand up to the big guns. To the Naruto and Sasuke or the Bako and Deku of the series. And would just be, second fiddle to the rest of them. And then we had a very interesting scene a few chapters later when she announced that she became a hero because she wanted to make money, which, I mean, is not a totally selfish goal. I mean, she's still trying really hard to accomplish it. She's still trying to protect the people, obviously, but, I mean, everyone else has these, grand, lofty ambitions to become heroes, to become like the heroes they always dreamed of, to become like their idols. And for her, just wanting to be a hero for the money just felt so wrong, so selfish, so strange. That was definitely interesting, but now this chapter gives much more context to this. While her goal was certainly to become a hero to make money for her parents, she was also just inspired by the crowds, by the people, by their smiling faces whenever the heroes were there, whenever the heroes were saving the day, and her parents were trying to say, Uraraka, the hero is over there. Where are you looking, you silly little girl? Oh, these poor parents. They are so utterly confused. And this is definitely interesting because most of the characters in the series, all the hero they're trying to resemble, all the hero they're trying to become. For Deku, Bako, and Shoto, it was All Might. For Ida, it was his big brother Ingenium. For Kirishima, it was Crimson Riot, the most manly hero in the entire world. And Uraraka didn't have that same ambition. She didn't want to be like any of the other famous heroes. She just wanted to make people smile, and that was a very pure ambition, a very pure goal, and in a way, it makes her almost a better hero than the rest of them because, the rest of them are all trying to live up to this lofty ambition, this lofty goal. They want to become like All Might, but Uraraka just wants to have people be happy, just wants to make them smile, and this is very beneficial, especially right now, especially in this chapter, where the primary villain, the primary antagonist of this chapter, is wearing an All Might hoodie. I mean, clearly, he is not anti-hero, he is pro-All Might, or more accurately, he is pro who All Might was pretending to be, because All Might was never, even at his best, he was not the hero he pretended to be. He was not as invincible, he was not as powerful, he was not as strong, he was not as, limitless as he claimed to be, and that big smile on his face, letting everyone know it's gonna be okay because I am here. It was all a facade, try and lure people into feeling safe, try and make people feel calm and happy and secure, to make them think that, they could be safe in Japan. And this actually worked. Crime went down because of All Might, but in a way, it was almost too effective because he actually raised the bar for every other hero in Japan. He made it so that every other hero in Japan had to be perfect, had to be, limitless, had to never get dirty, had to never break down, had to never need help. And therefore, all these people, they want All Might. They want a hero like All Might. They want a hero who doesn't need a place to rest, a hero who doesn't need a chance to take a breather. A hero doesn't need to shower off all the muck and dirt in his body, who can just keep going on for days on end without rest, without recovering, without showering. And that just isn't possible for anyone. And so Uraraka has to remind them, listen, we're people just like you. We're humans. Heck, we're freaking high school students. And we are afraid. We are so utterly afraid. The entire world has gone completely to heck, and we don't really know what to do about it. She let her fear show. She let the people realize that she was afraid, that she was, normal, human, just like the rest of them, and that if they wanted to do anything, if they wanted to accomplish anything, it had to be together. They had to work together. They have to see each other as human and realize that they need to cooperate in order to save everyone, in order to ensure that everyone can smile and be happy. And her words really do seem to move the crowd, especially Deku's mother, who was completely and utterly brought to tears. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for her to properly meet Uraraka next chapter, the one after. I mean, Deku's going to introduce them, and his mom's going to think, oh my god, this is my future daughter-in-law. Oh, please let that happen. Please let that happen. And the principal realizes, this is it. This is the small step we need to take, the small step to improve, the small step to be better, to grow, to become more than we are right now. And he is just so in awe of what Uraraka managed to do. Of course, I'm seeing a lot of people online who are saying, oh, this is it. His brainwashing has come undone, and now he'll become All For One's puppet again, which just, Maybe. Clearly there's something going on with the principal. I mean, just the fact that he is an animal who has a quirk is weird, and I could certainly see the possibility of him, somehow being made by All For One to be a spy, but if so, he has waited a very, very long time to, basically be activated. So I think that's very, very unlikely, and I think he's just touched by Uraraka's speech and how it actually manages to, reach the crowd, actually manages to make them understand that they need to do better, that they actually need to treat heroes like people instead of machines, like gods, essentially. But anyway, when Deku actually hears all this, he is just so brought to tears, he literally falls to his knees in a pose very similar to the very first chapter of the series, when All Might first told him that he could be a hero. Now Uraraka is telling him that this can be his hero school, that he can come back, that he can be with his friends, that he doesn't have to do all this by himself. Oh, I love it. I freaking love it. And just to make another callback to the very first chapter, the guy holding the umbrella next to this chapter's antagonist was also in the very first chapter of the series. He was the first person to talk to Deku to ask if he wanted to become a hero someday, which... Oh, that's quite a callback. That is quite a callback. Honestly, I'm actually kind of amazed I actually recognized him, but his hair design, the star pattern, whatever you want to call it, is just so unique that I knew I'd seen it before, and I'm so glad I checked back, because that was just such a cool callback. That's such a cool callback. But anyways, Deku is literally brought to his knees, brought to tears, crying in the rain. Umbrella Girl and Koda show up, and they want to support him, they want to help him. This just... Oh, it's so perfect. It is so utterly, utterly perfect. I mean, this is literally what Uraraka wanted. She wanted the people to realize that heroes need help too, heroes need support too, and Koda and Umbrella Girl, they were saved by Deku, and now it's their turn to save him, their turn to support him, to help him as he's struggling, as he's in so much overwhelming pain, and as he smells just so very, very badly. And hopefully this is, like the principal thought, the first step to making a better society, making a society where people realize that, they need to support the heroes, they need to help the heroes, they need to recognize the heroes as being humans, and where heroes realize that, maybe we shouldn't just have one pillar of peace, one guy whose job it is to protect all of Japan. Maybe we should have, a bunch of pillars. We should be working together to make sure that we all become the greatest heroes. Huzzah! And that does make a lot of sense because, a big thing with Shigaraki was the fact nobody helped him because everyone thought a hero will show up. A hero will save this boy, and no hero did. No hero came. No hero saved him. And as a result, he has just murdered so many, many thousands of people at this point. It's actually truly, truly terrifying. But anyway, now Deku has his class, Koda and Umbrella Girl supporting him. Huzzah! And I'm really, really hoping we see Eri next chapter. Her reunite with Deku, her maybe meeting Koda. Like I said before in my last video, I definitely see that as possible ship, or at the very least, two main characters of a sequel series down the road. Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. I also did see people online wondering, okay, well, where's Eri? Why isn't she running out here? Why isn't she trying to embrace Deku too? And I think there were some very good reasons for that. I mean, first and foremost, she has severe, severe PTSD, and I'm fairly certain this angry mob would have, triggered it quite a bit, and there's a fairly good chance she would have, accidentally killed everyone here. Very, very good chance that might have happened. I mean, while she's definitely training to improve her quirk, I don't really trust her in, an angry mob right now. And a few other things this chapter, Aizawa is apparently still in the hospital, which is interesting. I mean, it's been a couple days, couple weeks since, all this started. I feel like his wound should have healed by now. I mean, he did lose an eye and a leg, but I really don't feel like that's the kind of thing that would stop him for all that long. I mean, seriously, this man is aware of how, utterly hectic Japan's gotten right now. I can't imagine, any doctors who would be able to convince him to stick around for all that long. So maybe he's getting some sort of cybernetic implants to make it so that he can, continue his hero work, continue fighting. I mean, that would make a certain amount of sense for me, and it would make sense why, he didn't come after Deku himself, because, yeah, Aizawa is the ultimate foe to All For One and One For All alike. He can stop their quirks in their tracks and basically render them completely humans, so it's certainly strange that he isn't, out in the streets fighting villains or going to stop Deku. I definitely think that eventually when he does come back to UA, when he eventually reunites Deku, he will hit him. He will hit him very, very hard, and I very much want to see that. I actually also want to see Eri hitting Deku after she learned it from Aizawa. Oh, that'd be cute. That'd be so cute. And moving on to something less cute, Eel Boy, the hero that Uraraka was so happy to see inspire the people in the past, he dead. He is absolutely dead. He was killed by twice his clone in order to save Toga right before he himself died, which is depressing. Very, very depressing. I mean, seriously, Horikoshi could have put any hero in that spot, but he put in a hero who we had just recently seen die? That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know, maybe this is almost a bit of foreshadowing. Maybe this is saying that Toga managed to steal Eel Boy's blood before, they fled the mansion, and she'll transform into Eel Boy, pretend to be him in order to infiltrate UA. I mean, I could see that maybe making some sense, I'm not sure. And we do get another tiny little bit of flashback of when she first was accepted into UA. And oh, seriously, I want this to be a full flashback in the anime. I want this to actually be an entire freaking episode just showing, her entire journey to get into UA from her perspective, what the exam was like when she first met Deku, when she was, fighting those giant robots, when she was fighting the really, really big giant robot. I want to see all of that from her point of view. That'd be so, so amazing to watch. But anyway, then she proudly proclaimed that this is Deku's Hero Academia. As we cry, which, it's a fairly good point. This is his freaking high school, people. None of you go to this high school. You're all just random citizens who are taking shelter here. Deku belongs here. You don't. At all. Oh, I love you, Uraraka. I freaking love you. And I love Koda running over to defend Deku to help him up. I so love that. I know I mentioned that before, but seriously, just a little kid trying to support his hero. Deku's first fan trying to support him. That's just so freaking adorable. I love this kid. Very, very excited to see what happens next. Please link all this down below. Do you think the crowd has fully changed their mind? Do you think they'll let Deku stay? Do you think there's going to be some people who are against it? Let me know all this down below. Be sure to like this video. Until then,
peace.